Schmidt can run. He's running hard. He's rounding third. They're going to try to score him. Here comes the throw. They'll not get him. We're tied. Unser again comes through. A big base hit. This time between Aikens and the bag.
He has been outstanding for how many years now, Tom? Coming into the clutch, sitting on that bench call. Here's the other reason that we should have mentioned. He's got to hold him on, Aikens, with Schmidt's speed, and they didn't bunt. They knew he had to hold him on. Unser can't pull the ball as he just did. I'll say one thing, Schmidt showed his speed scoring on that because there was two pretty good relay throws. Cardinale to White to Porter.
Trillo remains alive. We're all tied, 3-3. Schmidt, a single off the glove of Brett. A double by Unser driving in Schmidt. A sacrifice by Moreland put Unser at third. Maddox was out. Brett to Aikens. There you see Unser. Trillo's the batter with a count of 2 strikes. Off the glove. Brett will have to make the play. Not in time. Phillies lead. Trillo lines one off Quisenberry. And look at Unser react. It's 4-3 Philadelphia.
The shortstop, Lobo.
The Phillies take the lead, 4-3. Here it is again.
Quisenberry has a reputation to be a fine fielding pitcher. He's lucky to get just a glove on that ball and not get hurt. The ball bounds away, and Brett almost makes another fine play. To speed of Trillo, he beat it out. And the Phillies go ahead 4-3.
And it's one of those pitches, no balls, 2 strikes. Quisenberry got a little bit up in the strike zone. Give Trillo credit because he did rifle it. One of those where you might say, hey, try and get him to swing at my best pitch, a sinker out of the strike zone down.
Hello, fellow collectors. Welcome to another episode of the TTM Show, Friday Footage. And I got one here. This one's for my Philly fans and anybody who's a fan of the history of baseball. As you saw in the opening clip there, that was a 1980 World Series. And Unser coming up with a big pinch hit, scoring Mike Smith to tie the game. Then Manny Trillo come up with a hit to the pitcher and scoring Mr. Unser. And this is what I have today. This is a 2-card sent, 2-card sign, 8 days, no fee, out of Phoenix, Arizona, and I got it to sign 2 1981 Topps cards. And I asked him for the 1980 World Series champion inscription, and he was very nice to go ahead and do so. He was a terrific pinch hitter during his career, especially, and he was on that stretch of the 80 World Series. He did quite well. This is Dilbert Bernard Unser, otherwise known as Unser. He was an American former professional baseball center fielder and utility player. Played 15 seasons in the majors from 1968 to 82, and he had 2 stints with the Phillies. You see, he led the AL triple with the Senators in 69. He's played the 68 All-Rookie team, and of course won the 1980 World Series with the Philadelphia Phillies. He played a key role in the 80 World Series victory over the Royals, getting crucial doubles and driving runs as a pinch hitter in the late innings of Game 2 and Game 5. The first cut, the Royals led from 4-2 to 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th and scored the tying run before Mike Smith drove in the winning run with a double for a 2-zip series lead for Philadelphia. In Game 5 in KC, as he saw in the opening clip, with the series tied it to a piece, the Phillies were at bat in the top of the 9th and trailing by a score of 3-2. After Smith led off with a single, Unser again delivered a double to score Smith with the tie-in run. He later scored the go-ahead run on Manny Trillo's single as the Phillies won the game 4-3. From there, they took a 3-2 lead in the World Series back to Philadelphia, where they close it out in Game 6 with Tug McGraw on the mound.
The crowd will tell you what happens.
There you have it. The Phillies celebrated, and found a funny thing here online. Following the '80 World Series, Unser appeared with 4 of his Phillies teammates on Family Feud for 1 week in 1980. He, Larry Bowa, Mike Schmidt, Dick Ruthven, and Gary Maddox played against 5 members of the Royals: John Wathan, Willie Wilson, Paul Splitoff, Dan Quisenberry, and Dennis Leggett. As a treat for you here, I found a little clip from the intro from Family Feud.
It's time for the World Series Instant Replay on Family Feud. Introducing the Philadelphia Phillies. Larry Bowa, Gary Maddox, Mike Schmidt, Del Unser, and Dick Ruthven. Ready for action. Kansas City Royals, Dan Quisenberry, Willie Wilson, Paul Splitoff, John Wathan, and Dennis Leonard. On your mark. Let's start the Family Feud World Series.
There you have it, folks. Yes, rest in peace to Richard Dawson. And for the Royals, Dan Quisenberry passed away in 1998, and Paul Splitoff in 2012. So rest in peace to the 3 of those men. And speaking of family, he had baseball in his family. His father was Al Unser, who played in the majors with the Tigers and the Reds in the 1940s. And Mr. Al Unser was the 1951 MVP of the American Association, the minor leagues, the minor league Milwaukee Brewers in 1951. Shout out to Lynn and Dale. Previously to the Milwaukee Brewers major leagues, there was a minor league team. And Unser, his father Unser was a scout for the Braves and Indians in the early 1970s. Also, Del Unser's brother, Larry Unser, was a minor league outfielder in the Cleveland Indians chain from 1972 to 73. He was drafted by the Indians in the 15th round of the 1972 amateur draft ahead of catcher Ernie Witt and first baseman Jason Thompson, and played in the system for 2 years. So, baseball in the family, and rest in peace to Al Unser, passed away in 1995, and I believe that Larry Unser passed away in 2012. Rest in peace. Baseball in the blood there. Baseball in the family. Very nice to find out about that. And I asked Mr. Del Unser, who was your favorite Phillies teammates? That would be Greg Gross and the Bull, Greg Glazinski. They played together in the second stint in the late 80s in the World Series team of 1980s. Or not the late 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And Terry Harmon, they played together in the early 70s, 73 to 74 season. Any advice for young players? Keep your chin up and hustle. All the time, failures to be learned from, then move on. Thank you, Mr. Del Unser. Great advice. Great return here. Great looking signatures. Awesome to add these cards to my collection. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think of Mr. Unser. I didn't know a lot about him before I started researching, but seemed like a pretty good player during his tenure in the majors, and he seemed like a pretty good guy. I'm going to leave you here with a little clip more from Family Feud, the introduction of the Philadelphia Phillies. And if you have a chance, go watch the episode. Just go look it up. It's fun. A fun episode to watch, a Family Feud, the Phillies and the Royals. And I remember watching that as a kid growing up, especially probably if I stayed home from school watching those daytime shows. Family Feud was one of them. And I'm a little young to remember the 1980 World Series. I was about 6 at the time, but just fan of baseball history. And definitely that Game-5 comeback seemed like one of the great comeback in World Series history, and that Phillies team was great, and great team as well. Well, anyways, I'll talk to you really soon. Take care. God bless. Peace.
It's Game 4. Who's going to win it? Make them feel at home. Phillies! Come on. How you doing?
All right.
He became the head here, the champ. Let's meet everybody here, Blair.
Okay, on my left here is probably, not probably, the best center fielder in the National League, 6-time Gold Glove winner, center fielder Gary Maddox.
Hey, hey, hey!
I'm sure this next guy doesn't need any introduction at all. World Series most valuable player, National League most valuable player, our third baseman, Mike Schmidt. The next guy down here, if you could put 10 men on a baseball field, he would be number 10 because he came up with so many clutch hits coming off the bench. Del Unser.
You bet it. He's good.
Last but not least, probably the most underrated pitcher on our pitching staff all year long. He did a tremendous job for us, Dick Ruthven.
Good old Dick.